Nicki Minaj continues to make headlines this week. The New York rapper was just dropped from a lawsuit alleging that she harassed and intimidated her husband's sexual assault victim, Jennifer Hough. Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, was convicted in 1995. Okay, convicted in 1995 for the attempted R of Hough. In the harassment lawsuit, Hough alleged that Nicki Minaj and her husband tried to force her to recant the R allegations made towards Petty. A lot of y'all online want to argue with me about this woman's story changing. And the thing that they sent to me, child, I love how y'all cut little 10-second clips of what somebody is saying and then send that to me like that's supposed to prove something. Where's the rest of it? Don't send me no fucking 10-second clip. Send me the whole clip since y'all want to tell me what I know. Okay, since y'all want to tell me about a story that I've been following for the past 2-3 years now, go ahead and send me a real fucking link on when that lady changed her story instead of a 10-second clip of you using semantics to try to prove a point that you can't prove. The lady said that they did not directly threaten her. Okay, and what that means is you hire do dirt niggas to do dirt. Everybody knows that, allegedly. Thank you, Kim. Allegedly. But this is the reason why you send dirt niggas to do these things, so that when somebody tries to hold you accountable for it, they really can't, because they can't really prove it. Just because you can't prove something doesn't mean it didn't happen. A lot of shit happens all the time without any physical proof of it. Do you know when this became an issue for me? When Nicki decided to get on Queen Radio and talk about that woman's age and say they were in a relationship and tried to make it seem as if the original assault was not what it was. That is when I had a problem. Do you know why I had a problem with that? Because Nicki Minaj was not there. She was not there. So you are taking the opinion of yet another man, i.e. her brother, which I told y'all, I wasn't even mad that she paid for her brother's lawyer fees, because you want to make sure that your people get a fair shake in court. And if they go down, they go down. But ultimately, we all know that you're a male identified, ignorant ass. I'm sorry. She is. You know why she's ignorant? Because she's so fucking smart, but she still wants to depict a certain ignorant demeanor to people because she thinks it matters that y'all, fear her in some way. And then when she's around different people, then she switches it to the I'm intelligent and artsy, which is the real her is theater. The real her is theater. The real her is acting, is posturing, is perpetrating, is talented, and as amazing as she is. And you don't have to know that I'm a fan to know that I know her history and that I know she started out in theater. You don't have to know my history to know that I know I know Nicki Minaj. Don't do me. Because a lot of y'all feel like because people see her for her stunts and her shows that we don't fuck with her. No, bitch. I know the words to a lot of her songs. I bought a lot of albums. I streamed a lot of songs. I still stream a lot of songs. As problematic as she is, she's one of my favorite people to listen to. Okay? Especially when I'm in a mood. Y'all looking ass niggas. What? Real niggas that be moving weight in them villas. Don't play with me. Musically, a lot of the time, I fuck with her. But she got online and she tried to dress down the story of a young woman from 1995 so that people would think that her gutter, jailbird ass husband isn't the bad guy that he is. That's aggravating. Thank you. I have to stop calling them the Mrs. Steal Your Girl arms now that Trey Songz has become so problematic. I've been saying that for years, and now I feel like I can't say it. Okay. This situation is upsetting to me. On Wednesday, Jennifer Hough's attorney filed the motion of voluntary dismissal with no specific reason given. A lot of y'all think that's because it's not true. The dismissal only pertains to Nicki Minaj, though. While the lawsuit against Kenneth Petty is still ongoing, Jennifer's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, said the case was voluntarily dismissed as to Nicki in New York. The case against Kenneth is ongoing. As any further concerning Nicki, stay tuned. Okay, following the dismissal, Nicki Minaj attorney, Judd Bernstein, okay, child, that sounds like somebody that wins fucking cases, allegedly sent an email to Hough's attorney slamming the lawsuit. According to reports, Bernstein wrote, as I told you during our one virtual meeting, Nicki would never pay a dime to your client. I was correct. You ultimately were forced to surrender without you or your client receiving a penny. Inexcusably wasted my time and her money over the past 3 months. In my point of view, your conduct in pursuing this case against Nicki represents the worst of our legal system. Bottom-feeding lawyers who pursue frivolous actions against a celebrity, assuming that they will pay off if they throw up enough dirt. Just the beginning of Nicki's and my efforts to make you pay for your disgraceful conduct with both money and, if the court recommends it, disciplinary sanctions. So does that mean that y'all are going to try to put the assault victim in jail because she tried to sue y'all for sending dirt niggas around to her house a few times? Here's my thing about this, y'all. That lawyer, that's a damn good lawyer. Nicki has a lot of money. Jennifer Hough doesn't have a lot of money. Jennifer Hough has had to move, as far as she has said, allegedly, has had to move her life several times because of the things that have been happening with this situation. That started when Nicki Minaj decided that she wanted to marry a man that's on a sex offenders registry. What, like, and the lady didn't want money because if she, like, here's my thing. This is why I don't think she wanted the money. I don't think she wanted the money. I think she wanted people to know who she was so that if something happened to her, y'all would know what happened. And a lot of times, the only times people really give a fuck or pay attention is when somebody takes their ass on television, hires a lawyer, and gets somebody to defend their better interests. Usually the only time you can make people leave you alone or give a fuck enough to back up off you. Like, honestly, she might have not wanted the money. She might have just wanted to make a big fuss so that if anything further happens to her, she can then revert back to, I told y'all this is what they were doing. Because there was a long time, y'all. There was a very long time when that lady was just saying this, like, to anybody who would listen to her, just because she wanted them to leave her alone. She didn't want to show her face. At first, she didn't say her name. Then over time, we heard her voice. But she had been saying, they won't leave me alone. They won't leave me alone. It wasn't until recently that this became, all right, then I'm going to sue you for some money. No, it means the attorney representing the plaintiff acted against his professional code of ethics and should be sanctioned or lose his license. Ooh. Listen, I'm not a lawyer, y'all. I'm not. But I also feel like her dropping the charges against Nicki doesn't mean it wasn't happening. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean that it wasn't happening. Just means Nicki has a lot of money. Like, a better lawyer. Okay? Like, a lot of times, y'all black people kill me because Nicki will sit up there and use, oh, black men go to jail and he was a subject of his circumstance and he changed his life around. You'll use all of that bullshit to your advantage. But you will forget that being a poor person is the reason why a lot of rich people get away with things. It's because poor people don't have the money to fight in a way that rich people can fight. So a lot of the times they have to just let shit go. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. But what I did see, which I found was reprehensible, was her get online and try to change the facts of what happened between Jennifer and Kenneth so that everybody would stop seeing Kenneth the way they did. It was so that she could change the narrative about him to make it easier for them to move around in life, because it's hard to move around with a man who's a convicted sex offender. It's hard. Hard. You can't move into certain neighborhoods. You can't travel as easy as you wanted to. Yeah, called her a white woman. Tried to act like because she may have been 16 and he was 15, like that made a difference. Y'all know that when you're 15 and 16, a boy that is 15 is still stronger than a girl that is 16. What the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about here? She got on Queen Radio because I heard her and said all of those things about this case, and you were not there. There was no way you could know these things. The only thing is that you were listening to a man that's already been in jail for manslaughter. And that's not to say street shit ain't street shit. But ultimately, you can't trust nothing that he tells you. Not when it comes to shit like that. Stop it. Stop it. So to me, when she did that shit, that said enough for me to believe thereafter that you probably did send people to harass her. Allegedly. You probably did. Probable. You probably did. You probably did make her feel. I mean, why was she friends with Ra Ali? Because I was just in there and I was watching YouTube, and after the video I was watching went off, it did like, an auto to play Love and Hip Hop when Remy and Ra Ali were friends. Y'all remember that? When Remy first came back from jail and Ra Ali was her friend? Ain't that funny how Ra Ali was Remy's friend first, then became Nicki's friend. Now I don't even think that her and Nicki are cool like that. But see, Ra Ali is a do dirt bitch. I don't know if y'all know this. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. I just finished watching a scene where this grown-ass woman that allegedly has businesses and is acting, always talking in this soft voice and trying to act like, she's so above it all. She's always, Ra Ali is always pretending like she's above some shit, right? And then she'll go and bust some girl in the head who wasn't even paying attention to her and then go and get her car. Oh, I'm fine, babe. I mean, she said it was on site. She said it was on site. Bitch, you like 30-something years old and you still out in the streets fighting in clubs? Papoose didn't even want Remy to be friends with Ra Ali because she's the type of person that's going to constantly keep you in bullshit because that's what she's on. So fast forward to Nicki being friends with Ra Ali. And when I tell you that you already friends with a do dirt bitch, it's not far-fetched to believe that you got do dirt niggas that go and do dirt for you. I'm sorry, y'all. My brain works too quick for me to believe, some of this bullshit. Nicki went to Come On LaGuardia, okay, performance at allegedly famed school. Who's who of entertainment world went to that school. Thank you, Jay Jersey, for the super chat. And I remember because I have seen many a documentary on my girl because I loved it her. Okay. Tina Marie, thank you for the super chat. My question is, what else has Nicki bought her way out of? Child, rich people buy themselves out of all kind of problems. All kind of problems. Yes, exactly. This right here. Once they had that child, it was cool for him to have whatever restrictions he had. But see, once they had that child and it became difficult for them to do things and you got to worry about the kid going to school and all of that type of shit. Come on, y'all. Come on. Like 1 + 1 = 2. Like it to me, it sounds like some shit somebody with money would do. Try to buy their way out of having to, continue being responsible for this shit.